Welcome back to Miniature Mashup, everybody. This week I'm going to take this Rhino that I did not paint, and it's got kind of Akkadian Dark Angel paint scheme going on, and I'm going to convert it and paint it to Chaos. So the first thing I'm going to do is take these hatch doors off, this rocket launcher, all the little extras are coming off because I've got kind of a visual idea I want to use. Snipping off the exhaust pipes off the top here, everything's coming off. Because I've got sort of a thing I want to do, and it means sort of stripping this down to nothing. Even taking these little knobs off here, just clipping everything off with a wire cutter, getting it stripped down pretty bare. Gonna try to take some of this paint off of it, dipping it into some denatured alcohol, mostly because I wanted to see what it would be like to strip GW product I never have before. And as you can see, it did take a lot of the paint off. I suspect the green was came out of a rattle can, the green that's on here. Now I am going to glue the back hatch shut, which probably is making some of you crazy, but it doesn't want to stay closed. I find it annoying. Something I want to do aesthetically on the back here, and that requires closing this hatch for good. So I'm taking a little E6000, I'm putting it on a toothpick, I'm going to smear it into this doorway here, I'm going to close it, and it's never going to open again. At least not without like a hammer or something. Now going on the back, I've got the very first chaos bit we'll be adding to this Rhino, which is a couple of skulls and a chain. And I think that looks pretty boss, hanging off the back here. And if that thing opened up, you wouldn't be able to hang it here. So I regret nothing. Now I'm going to close these two holes up here on the top and the front. I'm going to use a couple of plastic jewel beads that just happen to be the perfect size. It's plastic jewel beads. These were available from Michael's. Not sure they're available anymore. They just look interesting. You know, they look like hatches, but there's something a little off about them, which makes them a little more chaosy, I think. And once again, we're just going in there with E6000 and a toothpick. E6000 is essentially a super glue gel. If you ever get the super glue that's a gel form, E6000 is basically that, only I think a little cheaper. You get big tubes of it. And I'll be throwing a couple of chaos bits on the front of the Rhino to cover up where that sort of screen guard goes on the front of the Rhino. I took that off. Again, I don't want this to look with just a few changes. I want this to not look imperial. I don't want to add a whole lot of stuff. I'm just going to be adding 3 chaos bits, a couple of jewel beads to swap out. The last thing I'm adding are a couple of claws off of the Mummy's Haunted Gold Matchbox set, something I bought many episodes ago and broke down. I got it at a thrift store, got it for $1, and I've been using bits and pieces of it for terrain and different projects, and finally have a good use for the 2 mummy claws that were in that. I'm just going to stick them into the hatch, have them busting out. Now once those are up there, I'm going to start basically making veins or energy out of hot glue irradiating from those claws. So they're busting out of the hatch, and then there's also going to be sort of energy shooting or corruption growing out of that hatch as well. I don't know how great this hot glue is semi-transparent, so I'm not sure it's showing up, but I'm going to cover the entire chassis of this transport with that, and I'm going to show up a little better here. You see, once I prime this. Now I'm priming this in gray. I actually ended up, when it was all said and done, priming this in black and white on the claws to sort of save me some work. I realized gray was going to be a little too much work, because what I want to do here is work up a gradient, basically light yellow, all the way through brown to black on the top, along the sides of the chassis. I'm just going for a sort of a gradient effect there. It looks sort of like heat. And then coming down from the claws, we're going with dark blue all the way down to white. So there's a different contrasting gradient coming from the claws and on the top. And overall, I wasn't going for realism. There's just sort of an artistic effect, and I like it. I think it's very striking, and as you can see, it matches the aesthetic of my Chaos Marines as well. Guys, this has been Miniature Mashup. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please come back. I'll have another one up for you shortly.
For you, faithful viewer, if you've liked this cartoon, please like and subscribe to the channel. Consider visiting us on Facebook or making a donation to my GoFundMe campaign. The links for both of those are in the description below. As always, thanks for watching.